Hey, it's Yolanda here from My Pretty Brown Doll and My Crochet Life. If you're new or not familiar with me, I am the doll designer from My Pretty Brown Doll, where I do specialize in brown dolls with natural hair inspired hairstyles. And then, as I mentioned, also the writer for the blog My Crochet Life, where you basically get a behind the scenes look at my crochet life. It's kind of like a lifestyle and crochet blog, kind of all modged into one. I do also like to share tips and tricks on how you can take your crochet hobby to a crochet business, because I do run my crochet business full time, and so I like to share that information as well. The links for both are below. Feel free to check them out, to follow me, and all of that good kind of stuff. But Today, I wanted to come and talk about this awesome find right here, Edward's Crochet Imaginarium by Carrie Lord. So this book has been on my to get on my want list, on my wish list for quite a while now. This book was actually released back in 2016, and for whatever reason, I just kept putting it off. Like, it's been in my Amazon cart. I've seen it in Michael's, I've seen it in Joann's, and I just never picked it up. And then I saw it in Joann's again, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, you need to have this book. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. I'll tell you why, what made me actually purchase the book. First of all, as you can see, it says flip the pages to make over 1 million mix and match monsters. As I just mentioned, I am a doll maker, so of course the amigurumi aspect of this definitely drew me to the book. But this idea that I could mix and match different styles and designs together to create, this one-of-a-kind unique design is kind of what drew me to the book. It is a hardcover book, and so this particular copy I did get from Joann's. As I mentioned, it is also available on Amazon, and I do have the Amazon link below if you decide that you want to purchase your own copy. Just know, if you do purchase it through that link, it is an affiliate link, which means if you buy a copy through that link, they'll send me a little bit of change, probably like 5 or 10 cents. But if you see it in your Joann's or your Michael's or any other bookstore, I would say this is definitely one that you want to add to your library. And here's why. So when I saw it in Joann's, like I said, the fact that it's amigurumi is what drew me to the book in general. But when I opened the book up, this is what actually drew me to the book. So this is, like I said, this is just the front cover, and it just does a table of contents here. But this idea of mixing and matching, like, I was thinking that it was just going to be like all the different designs, and then you kind of just pick one and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to put this with this and this with this. Well, they kind of took it a step further and kind of already did that part for you, because they have this separated by the head, by the arms, and by the feet. So if I just flip this over, each section, what it does is it shows me, so this is head 1, this is arms 1, and this is feet 1, and this is what those 3 look like together. And then they have the pattern for those different ones like right on the other side. So they have the pattern on how to make this part, and this part right over here. Now, I should mention that the head and the body of the doll, that's kind of like your base, and that doesn't change. Basically what they're doing, or what the author has done, is just added like little details to the head, and then, like I said, you would sew on the different arms and sew on the different feet. And so let's just say that I wanted to stick with head 1, but I wanted to use arms 4 and feet 1. So now this is what this would look like if I did that. And then let's say that I flip this to feet 7. And so we still have head 1, arms 4, and feet 7. But let's say I wanted to do head 12. So now this is what head 12, A4, and feet 7 look like. Or maybe I wanted to do arms 13 with head 12. Do y'all see why I'm so excited about this? Or maybe you wanted to do head 17 with arms 14 and feet 7. Or maybe you wanted to do feet 12 with 14 and head 17. So literally, when they say flip the pages and make over 1 million designs, you are literally just flipping the page and making a different design every single time. And I just love this idea and love this concept. And so for this part alone, this little flip, like she could have just did this flip section and I would have like, yep, I want it, no questions asked. So this part alone like sold me on the book. In total, there are 23 different designs. So you get 23 feet, 23 arms, and then 23 heads. And that's what that like if you were to do all 23 head, arms, and feet, that's what that would look like. And so again, you would just kind of flip through and just put your own creative design on it. As I mentioned, the head and the body of the doll really don't change. And yes, I put sticky notes over her pattern because it is her pattern and I'm not in the business. Like if you want the pattern, go buy the book. But it is also a head down design. So it's worked from the head down. I have never done a doll or amigurumi project from the head down, so this is going to be really interesting for me to see and to work with. I should also mention that this is also, the entire book is written in UK terminology as far as the patterns are concerned, so you will need to know how to convert the UK terminology to US. For amigurumi, that's not really hard because normally it's just a lot of double crochets, and the double crochet in UK is simply a single crochet in US. The other cool thing that she does here is she does give you like a difficulty level, and that's based on whatever color wood the project is on. So if it's on this color wood, that means that it's a beginner friendly, it's pretty easy. Even if this is like your first amigurumi project, you can probably do it. Level 2 is it would be on this color wood, and it's still pretty easy, but you know, a little more difficult, a little more advanced. And then level 3 would be your more difficult projects and would be a bit more advanced. And so as you can see here, like the different color wood would tell you that like this 14 is looks like a level 2, or it might be a level 3. No, that's a level 2. Yeah, that's that color. So the F14, if you were doing feet 14, you would be on a level 2 difficulty level. So I like that concept as well, to kind of, you know, because you can start with all level 1s, or maybe you do a level 1 with the level 3 and kind of see, you know, what that looks like. And again, like I said, it's just the standard head and body, and then you're adding the different things to it. She has an introduction here where she just talks about herself and how she came up with this idea. And then she does talk about how to use the book. I pretty much just showed you how to use it. Like I said, you would just flip through the different pattern designs, you know, the different head, arms, and feet, and then decide which one you want to use. You would kind of pick the yarn and the color that you want to use, because of course those things would determine, you know, the size of your monster and the texture of your monster and things like that. She goes over some other things that you would need, like if you want to use safety eyes and stuffing and things like that, your crochet hook. Again, because this is a UK book, the yarn that they used was a UK yarn, and so they used Toft Yarn Company for the projects in here, and that's TOFT. You can get that yarn online, but she does talk about using a fine weight, a DK weight, an Aran weight, and a chunky weight. Again, goes a step further and even shows you what those different projects would look like if you use the different weight size. So this is done with the fine weight, this is done with the DK weight, an Aran weight, and a chunky weight. Most of us here in the US probably use either a DK weight or Aran weight yarn. Like the Aran weight is probably like your Red Heart Super Saver yarn. This is probably what you're gonna get. Our chunky, I don't know what chunky yarn you would use. Probably like a Wool Ease Thick and Quick maybe. That's what that would look like. This would be like a number 1 or number 2 weight, and this would probably be like a 2 or 3 weight yarn. So most of us here in the US, if you are already like a doll maker or you already do amigurumi, most likely if you're using like Red Heart Super Saver or Vanna's Choice or any of those 4 weight worsted weight yarns, you're probably doing the Aran size. But she talks about the sizing, she talks about what kind of hooks to use. She then goes and gives you some ideas for tails. Now, of course, she didn't talk about the tails there in the front, but the tail is not required. But if you wanted to put a tail on your project, she does give information on how to do the tails. She has 6 different tails that you can use for your project. And then gives you the pattern for that there. She then talks about like if you wanted to do stripes, how to do those color changes. She has this little cute ombre effect going on here. She talks about how to do that. She talks about if you wanted to do like the popcorn stitch or the bobble stitch to like give your monster more texture. We have a loop stitch monster here. So she gives you the pattern to be able to do those different things. And then she has like a gallery here where she goes over all the different ones that she has already created. And so she, you know, some of them she gives a little backstory on, and you can read the little backstory. This one was really cute to me. And so that one might be on my list to make. But all of them, pretty much almost all of them are just so cute. And I don't know when I'm gonna have time to make them, but I'm definitely looking forward to making something out of this book. This one is really cute. Excuse me. This one is really cute. I like this one with the pom-poms, of course. So just a lot of cute projects. And then she even goes on to tell you, like, if you wanted to make one of the ones that she has made here, she actually goes and tells you which head, which arms, and which feet she used for her particular design. And so if you wanted to kind of just mimic one of the designs she's already made, she tells you which one to use. Then there's some technical stuff here. She talks about abbreviation, the right side and wrong side of your yarn, how to count your stitches. She gives some basic on just crocheting in the round in general. And so that is pretty much it. A little bit more detail about the stuffing and about sewing on your project. How to do different loops, as far as being able to add other details to the doll. And sewing it together, putting it all together, doing the eyes and how she makes the eyes. And then a little thank you here and a little bit more about the yarn. When I browsed this, I realized, so the author of the book, like I said, is Carrie Lord. Excuse me. She is actually the owner of Toph Yarn. So this is her yarn company that she used to make these designs. And so I thought that was pretty cool too. And like I said, Toph Yarns, you are able to find this online, but if you don't want to wait for this to ship, like I said, I think that you could probably find a comparable yarn here in the US to work on your own monster or amigurumi project. So again, Edwards Crochet Imaginarium. Again, the link is in my description if you want to go ahead and grab you one for Amazon. I found this particular copy in Joann's. I have seen it in Michael's. I have seen this book in Michael's, so maybe Michael's has it. But if you've already have the book, if you've already made something from the book, I would love to see it. I didn't even search to see if anybody else had done any reviews on the book yet. Like, again, I have known that the book has been out for a while and it's been on my to get list. And so if you can't tell, clearly super excited about having it. Stay tuned. Stay on the lookout, especially on My Crochet Life. There's a possibility that I may be giving a copy of this book away. I haven't decided yet because I may end up with 2 copies. And then I just may gift it to somebody because somebody already told me that they want it. So I may just send it to them as Happy Mail. But in any case, stay tuned. If I do decide to do a giveaway for it, it will actually be announced on the My Crochet Life page and things like that. So stay tuned to that page. But in the meantime, because again, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the giveaway just yet. So if you want it, go click on that link down below. You can get it from Amazon, or go check out your Michaels, or go check out your Joann's. Your Barnes and Nobles might have it. And this is one that you want to add to your library. I should note again that I have not made a project from the book yet, so I can't speak on the patterns themselves. Just doing a quick read over the patterns. Like I said, they're pretty simple. I didn't see anything that like glared out at me like, oh, that's a mistake. They looked pretty simple, and again, because I'm used to amigurumi, they seemed like to be, you know, pretty simple amigurumi patterns to follow. But if you have any questions about anything in the book, feel free to ask me. If I can, I'll either try to get the answer, or if I know the answer, I'll definitely answer you. But thank you for watching. Like I said, it was just a quick review, or I should say first impressions of this book. And my first impression is go get it, add it to your library. You will not be disappointed. All right, you guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.